I'm Bhumika Rathi. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, we are doing practices for competitive exams in which I'm going to cover your English grammar at the very first. So here we have topic noun. So in this is the last topic, and here we are spotting the error today. So let's see today's topic. So let's begin with the very first question that we have. So the first question says, my sister has read pages after pages of the Bible. So we have to find the error in the sentence. In this sentence, we cannot use pages after pages. As I told you in the rules, when the same noun is repeated before or after a preposition, so we will use the singular form. Alright. So here we have a preposition over here. So before that and after that, we have a noun over here. So we will use singular form instead of plural form. Instead of saying pages after pages, we will use page after page. Alright. Now moving on, we have second question. Second question is, I went to the temple with my parents, aunts, and cousin sisters. So here cousin sisters is wrong. Instead of that, we will use cousins. Alright. So cousin sisters is incorrect. Instead of that, we will just say cousin. Alright. Then we have the third one. He takes pain over his work. As I told you, before a preposition, we have a noun. So here instead we will use singular form of it. Alright. Now let's see. When the same noun is repeated before or after preposition, we will use the singular form. So instead of using pain, we will use takes pains. Alright, we will add s to that. Alright. Now let's see the fourth one that we have. The fourth one says, the manager put forward a number of criterions. Here, as I told you, criterions cannot be used. Criteria will be used. Alright. So criteria will be the correct form. Plural form of criterion will be criteria. Alright. Now moving on, we have the fifth one. Let's see. Yes, the fifth one says in this question, I like the poetries of Byron and Shelley. Alright. Here poetries is wrong. Instead of that, we will use poetry. Why so? Let's see. Poetry is an uncountable noun. Poetry is an uncountable noun. So we cannot have a plural form of it. Alright. Yes, the beautiful surrounding of the palace enchanted me. So here, surrounding is incorrect. We will use surroundings. Alright, we will add s to it. Why so? Let me explain you. Surrounding is a word form and surroundings refers to the area around the place. Alright. Now let's see the seventh one that we have. No porter being available, he carried all his luggages himself. So here, luggages is incorrect. Now let's see. Alright, instead of that, we will use luggage. Alright, instead of using luggages, we will use luggage. Why so? Luggage is uncountable and it cannot have a plural form. Alright, now let's move on to the eighth one that we have. Question number 8 says, the table's leg have been elaborately carved. So here, table's leg, as I told you in the rules of noun, that we cannot use apostrophe and s with non-living thing. Alright. Instead of that, we will use of. Alright. So we will say legs of the table. Alright. Instead of saying table's leg. Alright. For inanimate objects, for non-living or inanimate objects, possessives apostrophe s is generally avoided, and instead of that, we will use of. Alright. Now moving on, we have the ninth one. Ninth one says, the sceneries of the Kashmir is very charming. So here, sceneries is wrong. Sceneries. Instead of that, we will use the word scenery. Scenery is also uncountable noun, as I told you when I was teaching you. So we cannot use sceneries. We will use scenery instead of that. Then the 10th one we have is, the driver showed great talent in keeping the damaged car under control. So here we have the word talent. Talent, as I told you when I was teaching you, that talent is that something that is inborn, and skill is that has been developed, alright, by practicing. So here, instead of using talent, we will use skill. Talent means natural ability, alright, and skill means learned ability, alright. So here, instead of using talent, we will use skill, alright. Driving requires skill, it cannot be talent, alright. Now moving on, we have, when I entered the bedroom, I saw a snake crawling on the ground. We cannot say ground. Since the snake entered the bedroom, ground is outside and floor is inside a building. All right. So instead of using ground, we will use the word floor. All right. These all I have taught you in the rules of nouns. So you can see in those videos. Then the 12th one we have is, let's see, ants are given to the poors. So here, poors, the poors is incorrect. Instead of that, we will use poor. All right. Why so? Poor is an adjective and the word poor refers to the group. All right. We cannot add s to that. Then we have the 13th one. The 13th one says, lasers are indispensable tools for the delicate eyes surgery. So here we cannot say eye surgery. Instead of that, we will say eye surgery. Why so? When a noun describes another noun, it acts as adjective. All right. So here we will use the singular one, eye surgery. All right. Eye surgery instead of eye surgery. All right. Then moving on, we have the 14th one. If you have a way with the words, a good sense of design and administration ability, you may enjoy working in high pressure world of advertising. So here we have administration is wrong. Administrative ability will be used since administration is a noun and here we need an adjective to describe the ability of a person. We will use administrative instead of administration. All right. Now moving on, we have last week's sharp hike in the wholesale price of the beef is strong indication for higher meat costs to come. So here costs, we cannot add s to cost. So since cost is uncountable noun and here we are referring to price, so we will use the word cost instead of cost. All right. And it's an uncountable noun. All right. So this is all for today. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.